Alright guys, welcome back to another stepping stone. This video is going to be a little different. I'm going into some territory that I felt afraid of going into for a very long time. This isn't inherently political, but maybe it kind of is. I hope you can hear me out. I can't control whether you do or not. I feel like I might lose people. I feel like people are going to be like, woke libtard. You know, I try to be lighthearted. I try to be funny. If you know this channel, I try to just be myself is basically the gist of it. But part of being myself is that I want to be someone who speaks about things that are important to me and things that matter to me and things that I'm seeing that I feel like could help other people. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know like how tuned in people are to like what's going on in the US these days, addressing like Americans. I think a lot of the world is watching with confusion and concern. And I know a lot of Americans are too, but I also know in general I feel like a lot of people aren't. Some of that I feel like is because it frickin' sucks ass. It's super depressing and like scary and like it's like holy frick, like what's going on? Some people feel that it doesn't affect them. They're safe, like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. It's the classic, then they came for me, you know? It's the authoritarian creep, bro. Yeah, maybe it doesn't affect you. Maybe a lot of people are safe, but it's just getting crazy. It's just getting so beyond crazy, and I try not to keep up too much, but I just saw the news about Trump wanting to go into Chicago, sending troops, National Guard, and into a bunch of states. And I just feel like I need to just talk about this straight head on. I feel like I've been seeing this coming for quite a while, but for such a long time I was afraid to talk about it. I didn't have the capacity to be fully honest and to face the repercussions of what it would mean for me to speak my honesty, speak my truth, speak my mind, speak my heart. And I feel like I'm finally at that point. I've been practicing a lot and I'm ready to talk about and say what I really want to say. And guys, wake the up, bro. Bro, I truly do believe and feel that we are witnessing the real-time collapse of the American empire. Kind of radical, kind of crazy. I don't know, I really don't know what people's perceptions and understandings are of what they're seeing and what's going on. But, you know, I feel like when I grew up in the US, there were a lot of things that I really loved about my country. I feel like some people think that to criticize means that, or they feel that to criticize means that to hate. I don't hate the US. I love the US, truly. But it feels like unrequited love. I feel like I love the US, but it doesn't feel like the US loves me back. And that's the whole thing. But I feel like there's just so much going on and so much going down into the gutter. And I've been feeling this for a while. I guess starting with economics or starting with the economy. I mean, I've been feeling this for the past 2 years. I've mentioned this before, but I've been in and out of the country and I feel like, and I am in China, I'll be honest. And I feel like people are going to be like, oh, he's a communist. Like, oh, he got paid by the CCP, bro. All this shit. Whatever, dude. Say what you will. And I feel like as I've been coming in and out of the country, sometimes China, I've also been traveling other parts of the world. Every time I come back to the US, it just feels more and more dubious. I feel like there's more people who are stressed out, more people seem miserable, more people are homeless, more price increases, more inflation, more anxiety, more fear, more political instability. Everything just keeps escalating, bro. And dude, I remember growing up reading frickin' history textbooks and being like, holy shit, like history's crazy, bro. Like fall of like Soviet Union, like the Berlin Wall, like all these things. I'm like, man, world wars, like that's so crazy, like that's so sad, that's unbelievable, man. I hope we're like beyond that point in humanity. And I really do feel that we are in some ways, and I really do hope that we are. But I really don't see a way out of this. I hope there's a way out of this, out of the current climate in the US, the political climate, every climate, dude, even socially, economically. I think the whole system is just very dubious. And I feel like we're seeing it all come to a crashing. And, the job markets have been super hard for a while. I figured that out firsthand 2 years ago, and I basically quit looking for a job and started focusing on my own well-being, my own health, my own authentic journey of being. And that's what I try to do here. But I feel like things are just too crazy, and I feel like a lot of people are just like either not worrying or trying not to worry or pretending that it doesn't worry them. I feel like I've always been very surprised by how out of the loop some people are about some of the crazy shit going on. It's like every day, it's constant. And then there's people who are too in the loop and they suffer for it. Their mental health deteriorates because it sucks. I mean, I'm definitely not saying like go on Twitter and Threads and all these things and consume shit all day. But I feel like change starts with the mind. It starts with hearts. There's that famous quote, like, the revolution will not be televised. I saw an interview about that, and I think from my understanding, he was saying it's not something that you see on TV. It's something that happens in people's minds, in people's hearts. And I'm just one dude, man. I'm just one channel. I don't know what's going to happen with this video. I hope it reaches someone and it impacts and influences someone. And that's still pretty cool. That's still an impact. I think in the US, there's such a huge problem with apathy and people just being apolitical. And I used to be that way. I used to be very cynical, very pessimistic, and I thought nothing really mattered what I did, right? And I 100% accept that that's how it feels. 100%. I also know that it's basic data projections. Like, if one person impacts one person, and that person changes one person, and then that person changes one person. I mean, that's if it's just one. But realistically, this will probably influence a few people. Maybe not completely change their minds. Maybe it plants a seed. Maybe it gets a hater to, like, at least think a little more. And I really am not taking a side. I'm really trying to be like, yo, like, whether you're whatever side of the aisle you're on, as long as you're an American in general, dude, like, there's so much shit that's going on. It's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, what are we doing here, bro? And I really love a lot of American values. I know, might be crazy, might not expect it, but I love all people are created equal. That's pretty cool. I love the idea of liberty and justice for all. That's pretty sweet. I like our Constitution. I really do. Consider me a constitutionalist. I like a lot of things about what America is supposed to stand for. Land of opportunity, right? All these things. And it's one of my favorite things about growing up and being in the US. I'm from California. Oh, California, ew, liberal. One of my favorite things was seeing how people from all over the world, so much diversity, could get along and get behind these same beliefs, right? I hold them to be self-evident that all men are created equal, right? All these things. And I feel like we've just come so far from that. I feel like just the Constitution gets desecrated every day. The authoritarian creep goes further and further. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where things are heading. I just know it's going to get worse. I feel very certain of that. And I feel like, yeah, we can, like, pretend things are okay. I understand the desire to tune out and to focus on your own thing. You might be like, bro, Mr. Stone, Professor Stone, bro. I'm just one dude. Like, I have my own problems. I need to deal with my own shit. 100%, bro. Super valid. I understand it. And I feel like that's part of the systematic issue in the US. Like, we are so incentivized to be, like, complacent and be, like, hooked in and, like, distracted and satisfied with all these things, right? Like, freaking chasing money, like, watching TikToks, doom scrolling, bickering on social media, buying new things, watching new shows, like, all these things. And it feels like the system's just way too big. Like, what can I do? I'm just one person, right? I understand it. And it's part of what I really don't like is I feel like so many people are complacent. And I think in the past that used to make me very angry, in part because I was projecting, because I was angry at my own complacency. So no hate, guys. I understand it. And I feel like it's not your fault. It's not most people's fault. Like, we really, I feel, do live in a system that incentivizes us to be complacent and be distracted and be content with what we have and not want to deal with these greater issues, right? Pavlov's hierarchy of needs. Like, if you're trying to get like food on the table and like, you know, just survive, you can't worry about all this shit. And that's the thing though, man. Like, just surviving is getting harder and harder. Rent's going up, everything's going up, groceries going up. Oh my gosh, man. Like, so many things I feel are just broken. Like, there are some things that just shouldn't be for profit, man. People should not be profit maxing housing. Housing is for living in, bro. That doesn't mean like some people maybe can go for profit for these things, but like, dude, there are some necessities that are just necessary for people. And it's getting harder and harder for people to just live their life and exist. And that's something I felt and recognized a couple years ago. And that's when I basically stopped trying for the most part. And I decided to just do my own thing. And I feel like the scary thing is, you know, some people might be like, oh, like, nah, that's lame, bro. Socialist. Are you a socialist, bro? You a commie, bro? But the thing is, dude, it's in everyone's interest for the mass populace to not be like starving and stressed and like trying to survive. Like, dude, that is the shit of revolutions. Like, revolutions happen when people are hungry and fed up and angry and resentful and they just want to burn it all down, bro. And I think that's the crazy part about it. We're in a two-tiered system where stocks and shit are at all-time highs. Housing is starting to kind of collapse, but I think last I heard it's still pretty high. People are super priced out from buying a home. People are fed up, dude. People are fed up. I'm fed up. You're probably fed up if you're still watching right now. Dude, something has got to change. So much is broken. And I feel like it's all interwoven. It all bleeds into each other. Social, economic, political. Nothing's looking good, dude. Mental health, horrendous. Male loneliness epidemic. Dating crisis. Depression and suicides are like probably at all-time highs right now, last I've heard. Rents are really high. Groceries are high. Gas is high. Dude, what are we doing, guys? Be real. Be real. Be serious. Oh my goodness, man. As one of my British friends used to say, I'll say, guys, we're such an unserious country. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, dude? What are we doing? Okay. And then there's all the crazy shit. Dude, our freaking Department of Defense is a Department of War. Like, what do you think that entails? You think we're gonna go, like, plant roses in the rose garden or something? Oh my gosh, I'm laughing so much because I need to cope, man. I need to have the copium. I need to lower those stress levels. Laughter is a great medicine. Hope I'm helping you guys feel a little less stressful because it is pretty crazy, man. It is pretty stressful. And I know there's those people who are like, oh, bro, like, come on, man. Like, don't tell me you got triggered, bro. Can't you tell he's kidding, bro? Bro, don't tell me you're a libtard. Dude, it's not funny. It's not a joke. It's so obvious. Don't even get me started with the Epstein files, dude. Actually, don't release the files. They've already been corrupted and redacted. And, dude, oh my gosh, don't even get me started, bro. I'm gonna do a video on the Epstein files soon. Guys, wake up, please. I know it's scary. I'm scared. I won't lie. Maybe what I'm saying right now will put me in the bad faith of both the US and China. Maybe it's time to go somewhere else. And I feel like there is a lot of irony. I recognize that there's a lot of irony that I'm making this in China about the US. And China is an authoritarian country, right? Somehow, though, I feel more comfortable and more safe in China's current form than whatever freaking weird capitalistic, like, Frankenstein of a system is going to come out of an authoritarian version of the US. And look, all countries have their problems. China's imperfect, the US is imperfect. For me personally, I feel much more welcomed and safe and comfortable in China than in the US. And I think a lot of people would, but I won't get into that too much. But I will say a lot of the things I see in China, I probably already lost a lot of people just for saying the word China. But a lot of the things I do like about China just make sense, man. Housing, heavily subsidized, affordable. Most people can afford to live in a house or at least live with their family in a house. Some food is subsidized. Great infrastructure, very clean. Public transportation, bullet trains. I don't think we have a single bullet train in the US. Look, and I'm not trying to glaze China, bro. I'm not trying to glug. Oh my gosh, too far. But I just feel that what I see in China, for the most part, makes a lot more sense than what I'm seeing in the US. I feel like that's my personal opinion, my personal observation, what I think makes the most sense. But I think the scary thing is that I feel like for those who are like, oh, doesn't make sense, bro. You're just a communist. You're a woke libtard, bro. The thing is, we're gonna just find out and see, man. And I feel like what we're gonna find out in the US is not gonna be pretty. Things are not gonna be pretty. And tensions are just rising. Things are just escalating. Trump's threatening to send troops and shit into Chicago. And Chicago is trying to resist. They're pretty resistant right now. Seeing a lot of protests. As someone from LA who had protests like a few months back because of the Marines and the National Guard getting sent there, I had a lot of fears. I had a lot of worries about what would happen. A lot of it didn't come to fruition. But it's just escalating. It's just creeping, dude. That was already not the norm. And now there's an attempt to send it to multiple cities, to send it to Chicago. Trump is openly on his freaking Truth social media saying they're going to find out why it's called the Department of War. Like, guys, be serious here, okay? Can you do that for me? I'm kidding. I'm not trying to be condescending or anything like that, or judgmental. Truth be told, I just feel very concerned and I feel very sad, and it's very hard to see the direction things are going in and to imagine the suffering and the pain that's going to come. I don't know how bad it'll get. I hope not very bad. I hope we can have a reset of the system and create a country that is beautiful and serves the people. Remember when that was like what we were supposed to do in the US? Like, power to the people, of the people, by the people, for the people. Now we have freaking like, of the people, by the people, for the corporations, for the oligarchs, for the big tech companies, all this shit. There's so much shit, dude. I can't, dude. Our president has a cryptocurrency, guys. I remember when, like, 6 months ago, that was already like, what the fuck? This is such a blatant conflict of interest. It's dubious, guys. It's dubious. I hope that if you're not informed, if you're out of the loop, if you feel like things are normal, I hope you can realize things are not normal. And I hope you can stay healthy, stay sane, and find a way to just do your part. Talk to people. If you have a platform, maybe you can make a video like this. Just accept yourself where you're at. I'm not a freaking expert, dude. I'm just a freaking dude, man. I don't claim to have all the answers or have all the best insights. I'm just sharing my experience, and I don't know, man. Things are not looking good, and things just keep getting worse. I think they're probably going to keep getting worse. And I don't know, maybe I won't even be able to go back to the US anytime soon. Maybe I'm on a watch list now. I don't freaking know, man. What a crazy world. Palantir overlords looking down on me. And I'm not trying to like fearmonger. I'm just trying to be honest and genuine in what I feel and what I've observed. And I hope that shows. And I'm just tired of not talking about these things. It's gone too far. I think a lot of people, regardless of the aisle, regardless of where you stand politically, can agree that this is not what we want. I hope. And I guess that's about it. I feel like I just came off of a high. But I feel really good to have gotten all that off my chest. I don't know if anyone will listen, but that's out of my control. I'm just doing my part. Hope it helps. Stay safe, build community, stay connected, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and just try and do your part. That's all that I hope for. So I guess that's about it. Another stepping stone down. Peace.